Every serious organization is about to face the same question. When an AI system acts, what rule context was it acting inside? Not what was in the prompt, not what someone remembers approving, what was the actual authorized rule state at the moment of action? Aion Context is built for that moment. It gives AI systems a rule context they can read, obey, and cite, but cannot forge. The old model assumes software behaves deterministically, and humans operate the controls. That is no longer enough. Agents are beginning to touch money, credentials, care, compliance, procurement, and investigations. In that world, governance cannot live inside the model. The rules need to sit outside the model, under institutional authority with a history that survives audit. The core product is simple. Policy becomes an artifact with cryptographic memory. Take a rule file, a rubric, an evidence standard, or an operating policy. Sign it, version it, chain the history. Require quorum approval when the stakes are high. Now the organization can prove what the rule said, who approved it, and whether anyone tampered with it. This is the architectural idea. The model consumes the current rule context. The verifier checks that context externally. The approval path, version history, and tamper evidence are not model-generated claims. They are cryptographic facts. That distinction is the product. AI can reason inside the context. It cannot manufacture the context. Aion Context sits between several categories buyers already understand. Policy engines make decisions. Supply chain tools prove where code came from. Identity wallets prove claims. GRC systems document controls. Aion Context gives the rules themselves a signed, portable, auditable life cycle. It is not competing with those systems as much as making their control layer verifiable. The offshoots are not random product experiments. They are reference implementations designed to make the core visible. Aion-Edu shows credentials and accreditation. Aion-Trust shows human capital claims and background verification. Aion-MedSafe shows evidence packets and human-reviewed investigative workflows. Aion-FS points toward the cognitive substrate around agents. One kernel, multiple high-stakes proofs. The reference domains are deliberately difficult. Education, hiring, and Medicaid integrity all share the same problem. Claims matter, authority matters, and false records are expensive. These demos show that the same substrate can govern credentials, resumes, evidence, policies, revocation, and institutional trust. The economics are straightforward. Today, every workflow repeats proof work. Every system keeps its own record. Every audit reconstructs history from fragments. With Aion Context, the reusable object is proof. One signed rule, claim, credential, or evidence artifact that can be independently verified later. That means fewer repeat checks, shorter cycles, and a stronger audit posture. The first commercial wedge should be measurable avoided work. In a regulated workforce example, 15,000 touched workers, 5 proof events per worker, and a modest event cost already create an $11 million baseline. And a 60% reuse rate, even after setup costs, the net avoided cost is over $5 million. That is the pitch buyers understand. Fewer repeated checks, less manual reconstruction, and cleaner evidence when someone asks what happened. The mistake would be selling the whole substrate first. The right motion is to sell one painful, repeated control workflow, an AI policy gate, a credential verification flow, an evidence packet, or a regulated workforce process. Win the wedge. Prove reuse. Then expand sideways into adjacent rules and claims. This is early as a platform, but timely as a wedge. AI governance is forcing organizations to operationalize controls. Digital credential standards are maturing. Supply chain provenance has trained buyers to care about signed artifacts. The market is ready for fewer repeated checks, cleaner audits, and governed agent action. It is not yet ready for an abstract, universal trust substrate pitch. The master sentence has to be simple enough to survive the room. Aion Context gives AI systems a rule context they can read, obey, and cite, but cannot forge. Everything else is evidence. The cryptography, the demos, the verticals, and the economics all support that one sentence. The advantage is architectural coherence. Most tools solve one surface: login, credentials, policy decisions, audit logs, software provenance. Aion Context unifies the lifecycle of rules and claims across those surfaces. It respects authority, revocation, audit, compliance, and human review from the beginning. That is why the reference implementations feel ambitious. They are showing the same trust spine under real pressure. Package the core as the product. Keep the offshoots as proof. The product is Aion Context, the governed rule substrate, the verifier, the policy gate, the audit surface. The commercial wedge is one regulated workflow where repeated proof work has measurable cost. The category is verifiable rule context for AI and institutional systems.